Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for brandonsimmons.biz, and this is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. Now, the reason I'm wearing this beanie is because last year I bought it around Christmas time, and you know how Texas weather is. You know, you can buy something when it can be 30 degrees one day. Tomorrow, the next day, it'll be 75, 80 degrees. So a lot of those days happened, and I never really got the chance to wear this beanie. So that and didn't even mean to brush my hair this today. It's Saturday. What can I tell you? But anyway, on to the show. So JJ Watt done for the year. Of course, that's like a huge blow to this team. He's like, he's the heart and soul of the defense. Arguably the best player on the team. I would probably say, DeAndre Hopkins is quietly taking that spot, but it's JJ Watt. We can let him hold that for right now. But he's out because of injury to his back. The same injury that he actually had surgery on during the preseason or right before the preseason, and at that time it was thought that he was going to be out for at least a good 6 weeks or so. But as the preseason came along, keep hearing these reports that he's improving, he's showing quick recovery signs. He should be back by week one. It was like, I don't know. I've never played professional football. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have never played professional football. So you don't know what's really going on, in these, training rooms or behind the scenes too much, whatever. So it's like, okay, as long as it doesn't, really affect anything or worsen anything, then, let's see what happens. Let's welcome him back week one. So week one comes around, he's all right. He was not the JJ Watt. It's like, no, we're just coming off the back surgery, still probably not 100%. So, week two come around, he looks a little bit more like the JJ Watt that we're accustomed to. Patriots game comes around, it's not so much, but all around, that's just a whole nother story that, nobody was really looking like what they were supposed to look like against the New England Patriots. So now we come to this point of the season, week four, and he's out for the year. At first they thought like, well, he can be out for most of the season. He'll be on IR, and with the new IR rules, he can come back in the middle of the season. But no, he went and had surgery on his back, and they're like, you know what? Let's just shut him down for the year, which is actually a smart move. But it's just a smarter move would have been to like just shut him down, even throughout the first couple of games of this season. Because now, instead of him coming back at a crucial time where we need him, we're missing a big, defensive piece in our system right now on our team. And so, probably the silver lining in all of that is they re-signed former defensive end Antonio Smith, who was with the Broncos last year, and that's cool, but he's like a 12-year guy. So, and I think the article I was reading saying like he was contemplating retirement, after this season. So it's kind of interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see like where his physical skill set is at, and where his mentality is at. Another thing that's probably going to be a big deal is putting the spotlight on Jadeveon Clowney. He's moved over. They moved him over to the defensive end spot. Even though we had a 3-4 scheme and had him at linebacker, but now that he's playing defensive end, you're going to see if defenses are going to be double teaming him just to like kind of give him the respect of his strength and everything, or is he just even going to need a double team? He's just going to get caught up in one-on-ones and stuff like that. So pretty much the spotlight is going to be on Clowney. When Watt was there, even though Watt wasn't pretty much 100%, I saw a little bit of like flashes of brilliance from Clowney. Looked like he was just really coming along, and it looked like he was just healthy for the first time in a long time, like completely healthy. I guess this is his third year. So like first 2 seasons, he's just been hurt on the sideline most of the time, just playing sparingly, leaving games early, missing games, just all that stuff. So now that he's actually like playing whole games, looking healthy, he looks like he's making a real impact. So definitely the spotlight is going to shine brighter on him. Next item on the menu, Bill O Brien takes over the play calling. So I've been on record as saying, especially these last 2 weeks, that this offense just really needs to just step it up. In particular, I've pointed out that there's been no run game. They say, Lamar Miller, he has a good skill set, good tangibles and all that for a running back, but it just hasn't been there. We had injuries on our O line as well, so that could be the issue. But also, play calling apparently has not been up to par as well. I think there was like a couple of questionable plays in last week's game where there are a lot of questionable plays, but I think it was so much more so on the players. But there were a couple of questionable plays on offense that the offense made or whatever that you kind of wonder like, does Godsey, does our offensive coordinator need to just take a step back and just kind of let O'Brien handle this? So that's the other change that was made this week. Bill O Brien is going to take over for play calling. So definitely, I would like to see a little bit more aggression coming from our offense. We're tied at 31 for scoring. 14. We scored 14 points a game so far this season. That's our average is 14 points a game so far after 3 weeks of playing, and that's not a good thing considering what we have. Not so much at quarterback because I like Osweiler. He's good and everything, but he's still relatively new in the system. But considering the type of receivers that we have, and even in the expectations that we had for the offense, with our receivers and with our running backs and everything, despite the injuries to the O line, which includes Dwayne Brown, but we definitely need to step it up on offense. And I get it, new quarterback, pretty much new receiving core, if you will, as well. But this is week 4, and it's just kind of looking back at these first 3 games of anything. It's offenses. They started off good, for a good introduction, but they really could pick it up a little bit more. So definitely, we're going to see what's going to happen with O'Brien. Now, speaking of the 31st, 31st rank in scoring, we are actually tied with the Tennessee Titans in that department, and ironically, they are who is coming to town. They are who. I hope that's correct. If any of my former English teachers are watching, but anyway. They are our opponents that are coming into Houston, and of course, it's a division game. It's going to be crazy, and the last couple of years, we've been able to beat up on them because hey, it's the AFC South that we've been going through our struggles. For the most part, it's been the Indianapolis Colts, and every team outside of that has been pretty much trying to play catch up. So definitely with the Titans, they're 1-2. Still early in the season. We're 2-1. So I still think we need to come out with a beat up the Tennessee Titans mentality. Straight up. Like they got Mariota back there. They added DeMarco Murray this offseason. It's just we need to come out there and just treat them like no, we need to just come out there and just hit them in the mouth just because we can. Yeah, JJ Watt is gone, but there's still a lot of other players that are on that squad, especially on a defensive unit that can help force turnovers, definitely get a pass rush. In addition to Clowney, who I think is going to have he's going to have a good game. I think he's actually going to step up. But in addition to him, we have Whitney Merciless, and he's just a beast at pass rushing. Bryant McKinney, I believe, he'll be still playing in place of Brian Cushing. Cushing returned to practice, but I'm not sure if he officially is listed as playing in the game yet. So definitely, we'll still have a good, solid pass rush to get after the quarterback. Another thing that we'll need to have as far as on defense is the ability to stop the run. DeMarco Murray, he just keeps getting better. Week 1, he had like 42 yards against Minnesota. And, the Vikings this year, you can tell that they're going to have a great defense. Despite all the players that they've lost on their side of the offensive ball, their defense looks like it's going to carry them into the playoffs and probably a little bit farther. But their D-line, their pass rush, their front 7 shut down Murray. However, Murray, the next week, I forgot the opponent they played last time, or in week 2. Oh, it was actually the Detroit Lions. Yeah. So against the Lions, he had 89 yards, and so last week against I forgot who they played last week. Last week their opponent, he had like 119, I believe, 114 yards. So, and in each of these last 2 games, he's averaged at least 7 yards a carry. Like, he's never had more than 20 carries in a game. These last 2 games, it's been like 15, 16 carries, but still, 7 yards per carry. That's really impactful. So definitely, we're gonna have to take away the run and just force Mariota, whatever. We're gonna have to force him to throw the ball a little bit more, and hopefully that'll increase the chances of having our secondary get into having our secondary get some interceptions. Last couple of things that the Texans need to do definitely is we need to be more aggressive on offense. Yeah, we try to get the running game going, but definitely I think we could. I think this is a game where Osweiler could really take some shots down the field. Definitely, I do believe. Going back to the running game, we just need to choose the right spots. Where to get it going and where not to get it going. Maybe we could do some screen passes or anything. Just anything to work, just to get Lamar Miller involved in the game early and often. As I said before, last week's, I wanted him to get the game. I wanted him to get in the game, early and often, as far as like getting involved and getting his hands on the football, running, or maybe even catching the pass, but definitely running and just keeping that consistent throughout the game so he can wear down Tennessee's defense, which is, pretty much average at best. But when you get into a division game, all of those rules pretty much go out the window. It's going to be a wild ride, definitely. I will expect a wild ride between these 2 teams, just because of the long history that they have with each other. Like, these really are, true football rivals, if you will. But still, that shouldn't take away from the fact that the offense needs to step it up on both passing and running, and they have to be more aggressive. If they can get those 2 things done, then I definitely see the Texans pulling out this W this week. Yeah, but that's all I got for this week. Until then, I holla.